Some stories, they're more than just fairy tales, right? They're warnings. They get under your skin and just kind of stick with you. Well, we're about to dive into one of the most chilling and unforgettable legends ever told. It's a story about a plague, a little bit of magic, and a revenge so terrible it's hard to even imagine. We're going to break down Robert Browning's classic poem and really look at the devastating price of a broken promise in the doomed town of Hamelin.
So, let's set the scene. We're in the town of Hamelin in Germany. And at first glance, it looks pretty nice, It's sitting right there on the beautiful River Weser. But looks can be deceiving, can't they? Because as the poem tells us, something went horribly wrong here. This town was about to walk straight into a nightmare, one that it would never, ever truly wake up from.
Okay, so before this mysterious piper ever shows up, Hamelin has it has a plague. But not the kind of plague you might be thinking of. This was a plague of rats. The town was completely, utterly buried under a swarming, squeaking tide of vermin that turned their home into a living hell.
And I'm not just talking about a few rats in the pantry. This was a total takeover. I mean, just look at this list from the poem. This was chaos. The rats were bold, they were vicious, they were literally everywhere, fighting dogs, killing cats, and they even bit babies in their cradles. Can you even imagine that? The constant noise, the filth, the sheer terror of knowing that there was absolutely no safe place left, not even in your own home.
So what do you think happens next? When people are this desperate, this terrified, they look for someone to blame. And that's exactly what they did. The whole town, basically a furious mob, storms the town hall, screaming at the mayor and his council. But the thing is, the leaders were just as clueless and powerless as everybody else. They had no plan, no solution, no hope.
And then, right at that moment of absolute peak desperation, there's a quiet knock on the door. And this is the turning point, right? Hope walks in, but it looks nothing like what they could have possibly imagined. A bargain is about to be struck that will either be their salvation or their doom.
So get this, the mayor's sitting there, probably dreading another angry townsperson, and in walks this guy. And he is weird. I mean, seriously strange. Tall and thin, with these piercing blue eyes and a wild coat that's half yellow and half red. He just screams, "I'm not from around here." There's this aura about him, something powerful and not quite of this world.
So this stranger, this Pied Piper, makes his pitch. He says he has a secret charm, that his music can draw all living things after him. He'll get rid of every single rat. The price? 1,000 guilders. Now you'd expect the mayor to haggle, right? Try to get a better deal? But nope, he's so panicked, so out of his mind with desperation, he just yells 50,000. 50 times the asking price. That tells you everything you need to know about how bad things really were in Hamelin. So the deal's made. The piper walks outside, raises this simple pipe to his lips, and you can just imagine it, can't you? The whole town is just silent. Everyone is watching, holding their breath, waiting for some kind of miracle. And boy, do they get one. He starts to play, and at first it's just a little sound, but then it grows and grows into this huge rumbling, and suddenly, rats. Rats start pouring out of everywhere, from every crack and crevice, big ones, small ones, families of them by the dozens. They're completely under his spell, totally mesmerized by the music. Can you even picture it? This one strange guy leading a literal river of rats through the streets. It's gotta be both horrifying and kind of glorious at the same time, right? He leads them straight down to the River Weser, and splash! The entire squeaking, shrieking army just plunges in and drowns. And just like that, silence. The nightmare is over. The town goes absolutely wild with celebration. Okay, so everyone's celebrating. The bells are ringing, they're having a huge feast, they're saved. But here's where the story takes a really, really dark turn. Because once the fear is gone, something else starts to creep in. Greed. The relief and gratitude they felt just a moment ago starts to curdle. The piper comes back, ready to get paid. He did his job, didn't he? He delivered a miracle. So now we get to the big question, the one the whole story hinges on. Are they going to keep their word? Is the mayor going to honor that crazy, desperate promise he made when he thought his world was ending?
And the answer is no, not even close. It's just a shocking, unbelievably foolish betrayal. The mayor, all cocky now that the rats are gone, basically laughs in the piper's face. 50,000 guilders. He offers him 50. Just 50. He sees a simple musician, not a sorcerer. He completely, fatally underestimates the man who just saved his town.
And you can just hear the contempt in his voice, right? Our business was with rats. He's acting like this incredible magic was just simple pest control. It is one of the most arrogant and stupid moves in all of folklore. The mayor thinks he's won, that he's clever. He has absolutely no clue what's coming for him.
The piper doesn't yell. He doesn't argue. He just changes. His friendly blue eyes, they say, flash from blue to this eerie green and red, just like a candle flame. He gives a quiet, chilling warning that people who cross him live to regret it. But the mayor, he just laughs him off. And that was the last mistake he or anyone in Hamelin would ever make.
So the piper just turns his back on them and walks back into the street. And he lifts that pipe to his lips one more time. But the music is different now. It's not harsh or strange. It's sweet and soft and beautiful. And it's not meant for the rats. Oh no, this song is for someone far, far more precious.
And as he plays this beautiful, haunting melody, every single door in town flies open, and out come the children, all of them, laughing and skipping and dancing, totally enchanted by this joyous music their parents can't even hear. It's the entire future of Hamelin just skipping along right behind the very man their parents decided to cheat.
And here is the absolute cruelest twist of the knife. The adults, they can't do anything. They're frozen. The poem says it's like they were turned into blocks of wood. They are forced to just stand there and watch, completely paralyzed, as the living, breathing price for their greed is literally walking away from them forever.
He leads them right up to Koppelberg Hill, and then a door just opens up in the side of the mountain. Like magic, the piper walks in, and every single child follows him without a second's hesitation. And just as the last little one steps inside, the door slams shut, gone, vanished into the earth. Well, not every child. One little boy who had a lame foot couldn't keep up. He's the only one left behind, and his testimony is all they have. He tells them the piper promised a beautiful, joyous new land where everything was better. He becomes this living, breathing ghost in a silent town, a constant reminder of everything they lost, all because of a broken promise.
So in the end, the story's moral is pretty straightforward, isn't it? Keep your promises, pay your debts, be a person of your word. Because the legend of the Pied Piper is a terrifying, eternal reminder that some people, you just don't cheat. Because when they come to collect, the only real question left is, what's the price going to be?